MPB, all have used gear. Okay? That means somebody like me bought it. Either I hated it and have sold it back to them, or I used it for a while and I've replaced it with something else and I've sold it back to them. Now, one, that means if you ever want to get rid of a lens, you can call them and say, hey, give me a quote on selling this to you, and they will. Or two, you can say, hey, you know what? I used so-and-so lens because I rented it or I borrowed it from somebody else and I really like it, but I don't want to pay full price for it. I'll find a nice used one, kind of like buying a used car, and you can buy from there, and they're cheaper. So I have two lenses that I'm looking at buying right now. One is, well, I'll just show them to you.
What did you say all those places were?
Adorama is the first one.
Adorama.
Yep.
K-E-H.
B&H.
B&H?
Yep.
And?
KEH. And I think it's MPB. Is it?
MPB.
But you prefer the Schiller.
Here's the other beautiful thing. Schiller's has a used department too, but they never have anything. But I will go in from time to time and say, okay, what do you got in the used department today? Not much. So if you're buying used, any of those four companies, I have used them before. I recommend them. Okay. So this is the lens that I'm looking at. One of the two lenses I'm looking at buying in the next 30 days. Yep. Sorry.
11,000.
Yes, ma'am.
So why, if you say the 70-200 f2.8 is good for everything you do,
Mm-hmm.
so why would you?
Because it's not good for everything I do. It's good for 75 to 80% of everything I do.
Oh.
But every now and then, I have to cover baseball
Mm-hmm.
in a stadium
Yeah.
at night under really crappy lights. Kind of like somebody who has a son that's a pitcher at night under really crappy lights. And I want the best lighting that I can get. But I also want to be able to cover left field and center field. Okay?
In the same spot.
So now for your son, 7200 work perfect. For the St. Louis Cardinals, Tampa Bay Rays, or anybody else that hires me, that's what I got to have to be able to cover a stadium. Because Busch Stadium is a whole lot bigger than a Little League field.
Yeah.
Now for a high school field, I got to have that. Because if we play at night, the lighting at all high school baseball fields are crap. It's worse than football. So I've got to have something that I can drop this down. This is a pure f4 all the way between 200 and 400. And then it has a 1.4 drop in it, meaning that I can extend that lens out and make it further. I just lose an f-stop. I have to go to 5.6 at that point. Okay? That's one of the two lenses that I'm looking at. This is the other one. That's the other one. One's 12,000, one's 13,000. So in the next 30 days, I'm looking at dropping how much?
Not
My entire annual salary, basically, on two lenses. Why?
Because they tell stories.
They do. Ever since I was 15 years old, I've wanted to own that lens. That is the best lens that Canon makes, bar none. It can shoot anything you want it to and then some. It's too long to shoot in a gym unless you're shooting the distance of a court like in the NBA. But for baseball, for softball, for hockey, for anything that is a professional sport, that's my go-to. And don't lose me. It's leaving me. So I made an offer to the school. I told them that I would buy those two lenses from Richland and take them with me. Because they don't have a clue how to use them after that. But I do. So we're going to see what they say. I'm still waiting to hear back from the administration to see if they'll sell them to me. Yes, ma'am.
Just real quick, she should have had her f-stop at 2.8 because it was dark.
2.8,
Well, I mean,
3.2, yeah.
Yeah, 2.8, and her shutter speed.
It had to be a fast shutter speed to freeze him throwing the
So
ball.
like the lowest shutter speed.
1,000th of a second?
Wait,
Higher shutter.
higher
Faster
shutter speed. Yeah. Okay, so.
Yep. But here's the beautiful thing and why I bring all of this up. Let's go to the used section. Used photography lenses. That one's 13,000, right? We're going to go to SLR lenses. I want only Canon. And just because I am who I am, let's go to the high end first. So there is that lens in a used setting. Okay? Instead of 13,000, it's 4,000. And then I can go to used condition. It is excellent plus. That tells me that somebody bought it, took it out and played with it for a little bit, didn't scratch it, lens is perfectly fine, put it back in the box, sold it back to Agron. And I'm gonna get it for roughly half the price. That's why I said you can buy used gear.
So why won't you buy that one if it's the?
If I have to buy it with my money, I will. If I have to buy it with the school's money, we're gonna get the 13,000. Because most
grant
grants,
funding. It's
most
expensive.
grants you can't buy used gear. I can buy used gear because I'm smart enough to buy it from a reputable dealer and know what I'm buying. But for most grants, it has to be brand new stuff.
What's the condition average?
Average means that it shows wear.
What's a warranty on
30 days.
it? Ew.
Yep, but I can get it through Canon. I can have a new warranty put on it through Canon if I want to. Can I see your camera? Take your lens off. Step down, turn. Look at the ring on here, and then look at the ring on this one. See the difference? Okay, this one is almost brand new. She's never taken the lens off. This one is average wear. You guys see the difference in that? This one's brand new. This one has average wear to it. It just happens over time. I mean, that's just how it is.
But you said you can send them in and.
Yep, they will evaluate them. They'll clean them. Heck, they can change that ring out if you want them to. So they can rebuild basically anything that you want inside of it. All right, any questions on that one? All right, what time is it? 11:11. Where do you normally host graduation?
The gym.
In
On
the gym.
On the stage.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You have a stage?
Yes.
Beautiful. Do you have a couple sheets of paper I can borrow?
In that printer.
Okay. Okay, if you will, draw me out your gym.
Oh, do you want me to pull up? I can pull up pictures.
Sure, I'll draw. All right, guys, this is the portion where you grab a chair and you scoot in. We're going to get real close for a little bit.
What are we doing?
Learning. I'm going to show you how we graph everything. Dig in.
I didn't know they had little tart ones or whatever it's called. Oh my god, I hate those. So they're- I couldn't even finish the package.
So what we'll do is I will sit down with a blank sheet of paper for anything that we have more than 2 photographers for, or anything that I have to have 2 photographers working at the same time. Okay?
Okay, so like the gym.
Okay.
Let's see. I know I have. So like the gym is set up. The floor is covered,
Okay.
and the kids walk through the middle. I know I have.
And do the kids sit on the front row or do they sit?
They sit on the stage.
Okay.
Taking a second from below.
Somebody's ringing.
What's that? Oh, it's right there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Susan, your phone's ringing.
Oh, probably my husband. Okay, they sit up here on the stage.
Okay, so they sit stage left.
So I know I've got. You can see we do a great job with the photography. They each get announced. And then they get awards,
Okay.
watching the video, and then this is where they get their diplomas.
Okay. So do they sit on both sides or just the one
Nope,
side?
the administration sits on this side. I
Okay.
know I've got a picture to say. I know I've got a.
I'm wondering why they're turned, why they're on the right side instead of the left side. Like, do they approach from the right?
Yeah, they come around behind the screen and then they come through to get their diploma and go back to their seat.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah, and then up in, they go back over and then they switch out their, change over their
Well, they
tassels.
switch their own tassels. Well, she looks real happy about it too.
Yeah, yeah. And then they go down and give their roses to their
Yep.
mothers.
Do the rose presentation.
Yes. And yeah, all the parents are sitting
Okay.
here and here. And I'm pretty sure,
There's only seats on one side.
no, there's seats on both. I know I've got,
No, I mean the audience. You only have a stadium or stands on one side.
Well, yeah, the bleachers.
Yeah, bleachers. You only have
Bleachers on one side of the gym, yeah.
Yeah.
So the stage is actually on
yeah.
the opposite side
Mhm.
The
of.
bleachers.
Oh, okay. I was thinking we were on the end there.
okay, just a second, I know I've got pictures.
You should just
of-
walk down to the gym.
Okay,
and see.
that gives me all I need right there. You're good. All right, so this is our gym. Is the stage enclosed or is it open? It's enclosed.
enclosed.
It's enclosed. Okay. So on this side we have stage, and we'll have what looks like 3 rows of students.
Okay, this is
Oh, there you
basically
go.
how it's
Yeah.
set
There
up.
we go. Okay,
That's what I was trying to look for. It's,
Okay.
but this is a country music show.
that's fine. That gives me what I need.
But I know I've got graduation also. You guys can go ahead and I'll look over here.
Okay. That look about right.
Yeah.
Okay. Who shoots this for you? Or is it just you?
Just one of the yearbook staff usually shoots it. So
Okay. And there's steps. The steps are right here, right?
Yes.
this year it was a junior, yeah,
Okay.
that shot it. I mean,
And what happens if our camera fails halfway through?
we're just toast.
What happens if our card corrupts?
We're toast.
Poor toes.
What happens if our battery dies?
Toast.
So we really just pray that
Yeah.
everything goes
Yes,
to plan,
we say a
and
little
if it
prayer.
doesn't, we throw our hand
Yeah.
and say, we tried.
Yeah.
We're gonna try again.
Hopefully a parent got something.
Okay,
Are-
and then
are-
at the
are-
end, they all get along the back,
Okay.
and that's like the receiving line.
Okay. So do you see my point of why I'm asking questions? Okay, good. I try to treat everything like a wedding. Why?
One-time deal.
It is. Is graduation not a one-time deal for most people? Okay. At least from high school at one time. Also, at a wedding, I am not a small man. I'm smaller than I used to be, but I'm still not a small man. I don't want people paying attention to me. Who do I want them paying attention to? Why?
That's a good
There.
way to see.
It's our wedding,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay. So I want them paying attention to the folks in green robes. I don't want them paying attention to me. I'm going to be in their sight. That's just how it is. They're going to see me. They're going to know what I'm doing. They're going to say, hey, you know what? He's the yearbook advisor. Don't worry about it. But I don't want to be in their way. Okay? So I'm looking at probably 2 to 3 different people to shoot this. If I'm setting this up, I'm putting one here. I'm putting one here. I might put a remote here if I can. And then I'm going to have one in the back. Where they shot from, it looked like everything was from this little spot right here.
Well, yes, and I did have someone over. I did have 2 people, 2 juniors.
Okay.
But yeah, then these pictures were horrible. It's like there was no.
Yep. They're all off to the side.
Yeah.
Okay. So think about what you can see from these 3 locations. Okay? This one you're going to get the grip and grin. What do I mean by grip and grin? That right there. Yep. Whenever they're getting their scholarships, when they're getting their diploma. That's this one's job. What's this one looking for?
Probably emotions.
Tears. Why?
Important.
Because it's graduation. Somebody's going to cry. I take bets with my editors. That's who's it going to be. This one's looking for emotion out of the students also because they're closer. You could also put one far over, kind of where she had them there, but this one would care nothing about what happens over here. Your whole job is covering them. Okay? Most of the staff isn't going to matter that much, but I want to have at least one that can move. Would probably be this one. So this one would be my number 1 shooter. This one would be my number 2. This one would be my number 3. And if I use them, this one would be number 4. Okay? This one's number 1 because I have to trust them to get the grip and grin shot. Something we may not ever use in the yearbook, but it's something parents want. So that's something we'll have to edit and either email out or sell those photos or something. So I've got to have my number 1 shooter in that spot. My number 2 shooter here is, yes, looking for emotion. But you're also going to get them walking in, just like you had, but you never use that stuff, do you? See? But you shoot it.
Yeah.
We did the same thing.
Yeah.
Because once in a blue moon, somebody's going to say, hey, did you get little Johnny walking in? That was before his zipper broke and whatever. Sure, we got it. But they're looking mainly for emotion, and they're going to be shooting tight on these guys all night. This one's going to have a long lens, kind of like what you have, except with a lower f-stop. To be able to shoot in for a much tighter, they can get all of the speeches at the podium, because this one is going to be down below the podium because the podium's on stage. This one can be almost eye level with the podium, so they can shoot back into the action. You're looking for different pieces of art from different ones, okay? This one may be one of your rookies that they don't really know what they're doing yet, but they wanted to help, because I have those from time to time. I'm going to put this one on them. They're going to have a short lens, and I'm going to say, all I want you to worry about are tears. If a hat falls off, get them with the hat off. Or when every time they turn around and they decorate the back of their hat, shoot the decorated back of their hat. Make sense? Giving them something specific to look for, but also telling them you can cover whatever else happens. For you guys, you've got to be able to know, what is my distance from here to here? What is my distance from here to here? What is my distance from here to here? What lens can I use? Just looking at her photos there, I can tell you exactly what I would use across the board. But for you guys, you've got to be the one to be able to figure that out.
I use the same lens for everything.
Okay?
I gotta look, this is just something I just take the camera, it's like,
Okay?
so
So-
I gotta take that for,
Looking at that with this, those first 2 seats on the aisle at the very front would be 2 students. For my staff right now, Allie's going to be on the right, Bella's going to be on the left, Jasmine's going to be in the back, and Jaden is going to be all the way to the left. Okay? Allie's in charge of grip and grins. She's in charge of podium. She's in charge of everything that happens on that stage. She's in that number 1 position. Okay? Bella's number 2. She's in charge of emotion. She's also in charge of anything that happens over to the right-hand side that Allie can't necessarily see. Both of them are going to need what kind of lenses?
you're gonna need shorter lenses?
For distance.
Hmm?
Low f-stop.
You're going to need a low f-stop. What else? Could you do it with a shorty? If you do it with a shorty, I mean, you could do it with a 24-70. I wouldn't do it with that 1855 because you're going to get, they're going to be this tall and the frame's going to be that big.
Which one's
That one. I would not do it with that lens.
Because you're gonna be what?
The frame's going to be this big and they're going to be this big in the frame.
Because
So-
you're not going to be able to zoom in enough.
You're not.
Okay.
If you do it with a 7200, you can go through and crop them at about the knees, and then you can crop deeper into it once you have the photo. So I would use a longer lens there on the front row. Also, as they're coming in, if you have something like a 7200 that can absorb that light, so that way you can freeze them about the second row when they come back through. Because I'm assuming they walk around and come down the aisle. Okay? So you catch them as they're coming down. And then if you're shooting back into the kids where those cowboy hats are on the left-hand side, I can put it all the way up to 200, and you guys are sitting just about as far apart as they're going to be up there, right? The students are. I can be at any angle, and I can get you, and she can be out of focus, as long as I zoom in. Okay? This one would be basically the same thing. I would have probably a 7200 or even something longer there. That way she can cover the staff. And then this one's going to have probably our longest lens that we have, because she's going to need to be able to cover the stage and everything else that happens. Now, the other thing is I'm going to have what we call a rover. My rover is my one person that can move. It's not going to be me, because I don't want to be the big guy. I want to have one of my staff do it. But that means that they can get up out of their seat and they can go for whatever happens. We do a rose distribution during graduation, just like you guys do. But ours can have up to 10 roses. So, you know, all of you may receive a rose in here from the same kid. So I want one of my kids to be able to move to follow you. General rule is we find out 2 days before graduation who has the most roses, and we try to follow either them or the kid that's second that has the most, so that you can get a parent or a grandparent or an uncle or somebody in that frame with them. Okay? Usually it's this one that moves, because that way we're not worried about trying to get back to our seats to cover whatever happens next. She can be the oddball out. She can actually be out of her seat when they keep going and nobody's going to notice her.
And how do you sell these? Like, do you put them out like they see them?
Smug mug.
Huh?
Smug mug.
Smug mug?
Smug mug.
Smug.
Smug mug. Go through and build a gallery. You can download, you can upload every edited photo that you have. And then we do cards. So we'll build the gallery beforehand so we know what the code is, and then we can hand the code out to the parents. Here's where you can find them. Give us 48 hours. Here's where you can find them. Give us 48 hours.
And you
And-
sell them.
Oh yeah,
And you can put a profit on that.
absolutely.
How much do you sell a photo for?
8 by 10 is usually somewhere between 10 and 15. If it's a dance, it's 20.
If it's a dance,
Mhm.
it's 20.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll do portrait packages from 25 to 45, and then they can add on sizes.
So they order them right off of Smug Mug.
They do, and I don't have to worry about printing or anything.
You only have a 1-hour class for yearbook?
That's it. And this year I had 3 kids in it. I had 17 on staff. I had 3 kids in the class.
Wow.
So we have to be efficient.
What is 17 on staff?
So mine is both a club and a class, because I
Oh.
can't. I'm just like you guys here. I can't fit everybody into the class itself. So I have 3 of my editors in the class,
I got you.
and then everybody else is responsible for coverage. So I have a whiteboard like that one in my room that has dates on it going through usually 30 days out, and everybody's assigned to cover whatever. So if it's cross country on a Saturday morning, or if it's basketball, or if it's whatever, it'll have names on it.
But what if they haven't been in your class?
Okay.
So when did they come download the photos?
Well, they have to interview to be in his class.
Yeah, it's an application
not
and
just
interview to
a-
get on.
Oh.
In his class, or so are you saying they have to interview to be in the
Just to get on staff.
club?
Just to get on staff. Yeah, to get in on the club. And I have like we're a school of about 250, 260, and usually I have somewhere between 35 and 40 applications.
And
So-
then, so if they can't,
Get in the class.
how do they learn to do pictures like you like you know? or-
We go and do this stuff.
so your
and
club
they go with
does.
me, yeah.
Okay.
They go with me.
Okay.
I'll teach it. We do a workshop at SEMO every year, so they go and they learn that. They come in early. We do work nights, so we'll stay at school and work from 6 to 9 at night. On Saturdays, we'll do Saturday mornings from time to time. So it's a time-consuming bit. The class is really just where we build pages and edit content and that kind of stuff. Everything else we do outside of school. So it's a very big time commitment to do it.
Where did you mean on Smug Mug that you didn't order up prints?
I don't print them. If I upload a photo to SmugBug and I give you the code, you can go in and view every photo that's in that folder, and you order them. SmugBug prints them and mails them to you. I don't have to touch them.
And then the money goes
To me.
you, not Smug Mug.
Nope. Now, it goes through SmugMug. I think my PayPal account is actually what they go through. So
I'm sure Smug Mug is something.
it's either that or Venmo. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they take off. I don't remember how much it is for an 8 by 10, but it's less than half.
We're blocked here from Smug Mug. I can't get to it. It's
Sorry,
filtered.
but yeah, it's less than half.
Oh wait.
So if I sell a photo for, I usually try to do double plus shipping. My whole idea is that if a photo costs $3 to print, and it's going to be the basic $5 printing, like to ship it. So it would be 10, so it would be $16. one photo is $16 because you may just order one photo, and they're going to charge me $6 for shipping your photos out, and then however much your photo is. So they may charge me $9 or $10 for it. So she's got to pay $15 for me to make anything on the top of
I
it.
got you. So you could charge the shipping, not the person buying it.
Yes. Yep. So it looks good for them because it doesn't cost you anything to ship your photos. You can order however many you want, but I pay it, and that's my choice. Now they can bill you for it, but it's easier that way.
I mean, I don't have any photos that I would probably sell to anybody. I was just kind of interested in how you did all that.
Yep, that's it. The other way that we do it is we do it through Printique, through Adorama. So anything on the ceiling, we do through Printique. I love SmugMug, but SmugMug's printing quality isn't the greatest. If you want something that's going to last, we use Printique.
How do you spell that?
Printique.
IQ.
Is that something I should use for maybe that airplane photo?
Yes, I would use them.
I
Or-
use Inpix
yeah.
for,
Um,
but I'm for personal use. I
right.
don't do it for like.
Printique, unless it's a really big print, and then we use, I think it's called bigphotohelp.com, which I've used for 25 years, and their website hasn't changed. You guys remember when websites first came out and everything was like little bit emojis and the dancing squirrels? And okay, some of you guys aren't that old, never mind. Their website still looks like it's from 1997, but it works, and they print beautiful big photos. Any questions? You guys ready to shoot graduation? All right. Is the gym lights on? Can we turn the gym lights on?
You can turn them on.
Beautiful. Let's go shoot graduation.
I do have a question.
Okay.
What is
So that's your picture style. It has to do with your coloring. Perfect. Honestly, I never mess with it. I leave it on auto all the time
okay?
because I want whatever the natural coloring is. So I honestly never change that.
Never change what?
The auto coloring inside of it. That's your white balance. White balance has to do with like if that wall is going to be actually white or not. 99% of the time, you're not going to have to worry with it. Auto white balance will work. The only time you have to change that is when you shoot portraits, and then you have to do a custom white balance. Yep.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, it says over here. I'm like, what did I do with my glasses? I know I have a picture of the gym set up for graduation too, but nobody knows where that is.
That's fine. I was close enough. Sean, you take these down to our wonderful model and thank him for modeling for us.
Oh,
I'm sure his dad will love that we give him a half a bag of Smarties.
Oh, he'll love us.
Gotta pay the kid off somehow. All right, guys. I've got noon. Are you guys? Anybody leaving for lunch? Did you guys bring everything for lunch?
No, I'm gonna run down.
You're running to get it. Okay. Let's go. About 15, 20 minutes. Grab lunch. Come back. Then we'll finish up.
Okay,
Katie, where are you going?
Charger.
gas station.
What do they have down there?
They have fried food,
They have fried food, they have chicken
Chicken
hearts, chips,
Anything that's gonna make me fat. Can you do that?
anything that.
I'm just
Here.
gonna get this in there.
Perfect. Grab me one too. 1313 if you need the pen.
Can you help me?
Absolutely.
How, I just want to make my pictures better.
Okay.
Yep.
Here we go. I'm gonna go look in Michelle.
Is the teacher's lounge unlocked?
Okay, so
And do you guys have a microwave?
is that only
Yes.
outside? The silverware is right
Only outside in the sun.
second cabinet, and if it's not, I
No.
know.
Well, I guess it was.
Yeah, you can do that.
All right.
So, I mean, that shouldn't be bad.
Okay.
You got plenty of life.
This picture, like, what would you fix about this picture?
I would have shot it vertical again
Okay.
because you don't need the grass on both sides.
Okay.
You're right over the top. So if you'd have taken about a step back and zoomed in, it would have given you a better compression because I promise you she doesn't have that just a little bit of a fisheye look to her.
Mhm.
If you'd have zoomed in and stepped back a little bit, she would have been a little cleaner. Other than that, it's a good shot.
And then would you crop it to, or did
Yeah.
would you leave that
I would
size?
crop a little bit.
Okay.
And because you're at 1/50th of a second, you could have
Mhm.
used your flash, and it would have given you that catch light. So
Okay, okay.
I know it's in here somewhere.
Where should
There it is. Oh yeah, there it is. Cool. There. So take us half a step back.
Okay.
Be up over just a little bit. Zoom
Okay.
in just a hair.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and look, I did such a good job.
Well, let's focus good on the back.
Right, but what that would give you is that would give you just a little burst to
Okay.
override that shadow that you have on the face.
Okay.
So see how, look at her eyes, right in here especially, she's got just a little shadow.
Mhm.
That would have helped kill that.
Okay, and on, can you pull up my picture I sent you?
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh, it's alright.
There's
You're looking for?
silverware,
Oh,
plasticware.
that one I don't know.
It's green, but it works.
Fair enough. What's Megan's? That's not yours. That was Megan's.
Are they taking lunch?
Yes, ma'am. Remind me of your name again.
Barley.
That's what I thought. You were like the last one last night.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
You're the last one. You must have been up really late.
I was up till 2 this morning.
Oh wow.
So was I. Okay, so we've got that one. And we've got that one. Right?
Oh, those look better on your computer than my phone. Okay.
Mac usually does look better than a phone.
So what about just like a, what do we have? I don't know what kind of laptop we have, but it's not
Not a Mac.
MacBook. Would it still show up that good?
Probably not.
Probably not.
That's
Better
what
than my
these,
phone?
These are designed for images. That's what they're built for.
Okay.
So that's why I do Mac over anything else because it's designed for graphics and photos.
Okay. Okay.
PCs are designed to be used in the workplace and at home. These are designed for graphics.
Okay. So even though it wasn't that well on my phone, it still showed up great on your end.
Yeah, they did them. Although it looked like she had a little bit of a lazy eye. I don't know if she does
Yeah.
or not.
I don't. I see it in this picture. Now I gotta look at other pictures. Wait a second. Well, okay, so I'm on this picture. When we were doing the water balloons yesterday, like my picture looked decent. Like the lighting was great, everything. And then
Right.
like when I'm going home, say I have a photo shoot of a family tomorrow. Everything's I'm not going to get anything right.
Why not?
Write it down. Write it down now.
I have the pictures from here.
Mhm.
I have pictures from online.
Is it from outside tomorrow or inside?
It was. It's probably gonna be outside.
Okay.
And it's just, I'm so grainy. I'm too dark. I'm
Okay.
too light.
So how's this? Let me help you. We're going outside, right?
Mhm.
So what are you going to shoot in?
Probably AV if it's
Why?
sunny. Because it does the shutter speed by itself.
Okay. You're not going to worry about where the sun is, because as long as it's not dark or getting dark, you can let it set itself. Okay. Shoot it in AV, and the last shoot that we do today will help you for tomorrow. We're going to talk about how to shoot multiple people and where your f-stop should be.
Okay.
You actually should be about 5.6 to 6.3 to do that, which is exactly where that lens will put you.
Okay. Okay.
You almost have the perfect settings for that already.
Okay.
So f5.6 to 6.3, ISO of about 400 to 800, and let that shutter speed set itself, and track those little kids. Have fun with it. But make sure that you're zooming in. You're not shooting real wide.
Yeah.
You're shooting tight.
I've
Even-
noticed
even-
like my best pictures are
Yeah.
close.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're learning.
It's hard.
It is. It's not the easiest thing in the world to learn.
So when I was
Yeah.
shooting wrestling last night, sitting
Mhm.
Matt's side, this wouldn't get their faces the way I wanted.
Nope.
But this
Yep.
wouldn't get them when they rolled over close to me.
Yep. You are
It
correct.
was kind of annoying.
So
Yep.
what's the best in between ones?
Right? Did they have a?
That
is
70 to
this?
200 up there. That's the best one that you
70 to
asked.
200.
Did
Okay.
you want a drink? I'm sorry.
No, I'm good. I've got water.
I was gonna say, did they have a 50 to 200? Because
Honestly, that's what I would shoot with.
that's what I did shoot
Okay,
with.
that's
yes,
what I would
because
shoot
I wanted their faces.
Right.
And when they got close, it just didn't get close.
Well, and it's one of those things too that, there's a lot of times when I shoot basketball that I literally don't have their waist in the frame. I just have like from belly button up. But whenever I crop, that's pretty much all I want anyway. So when they get really close, they get really close. As long as I can still focus on it, I'm fine.
I mean, I tried using this one in the stand, but nope, you had to go Matt's side.
Yep, understand. What other questions do you have while we have a little downtime?
I know you'll be like your teacher and you've never done this, but I love the graduation walkthrough. And actually, that's anything you're going to shoot.
Absolutely.
You need to be
We do prom that same way.
Even as an
Yep.
individual.
Yep.
Like
We do everything the same way.
think it through, and because I literally like where's the camera, because I just does not click with me.
Mhm.
And like I said, I know my son, he does it like he rents, like because the cameras are so expensive.
Right.
He just rents a camera for a shoot,
Mm-hmm.
but he actually has bought a camera, an $80,000 camera that he rents out with him. So like
Right.
you can get him and his camera, you can just get him.
Understand.
And but to me, I'm like, here's the camera. But this, like, I wish I'd had this 20 years ago,
Understand.
22 years ago. That's what we're a Walsworth school,
Right.
and but you go to a lot of the jobs.
So do you have Alyssa? Is Alyssa your rep?
Amanda.
Amanda. Okay, Amanda.
I love Amanda. She
Yep.
does really good. She's very helpful. But we were Jostens until probably the last 4 or 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Remember
Okay.
me telling you Miss Biggs
Yep.
was the one who did it?
Yep.
And she did Walsworth at Meadville.
Okay.
And she was like, this is just, does not have anything like, it wasn't clicking for because she was used to Walsworth.
Mm-hmm.
We were Jostens. And I was like, I couldn't imagine. I was like, Jostens is great. And now that we're Walsworth, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. Walsworth
Mm-hmm.
did have a lot more bells and whistles.
It's
Than,
amazing how much both a rep and the online building platform can make.
oh yeah.
How different it can be.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, we this is I'm excited about school to start. I wish
Good.
that's the bad thing. I wish this was closer to school starting.
Right.
So,
Right.
but I literally this has to for some reason the visual of the f-stop. I need
Mm-hmm.
that visual.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, I can think this through.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
So like we were shooting the basketball pic. That's why I want to get it pulled up here. We were shooting the basketball pictures at an 2.8, which means I wanted most of it in focus.
No. Depth of field's really small with the f2.8, and we're going to talk about that when we come back. We very rarely ever shoot at 2.8. We usually shoot at 3.2.
For basketball?
for anything. We very rarely shoot at 2.8 because your depth of field at 2.8 is so small. Do you remember the very first photo I showed you guys of McKenzie, where one contact was in focus and that was at 2.8?
Okay.
So I wanted my depth of field to be a little wider, so at least all of her face is in focus.
Okay. And depth of field is your f stop.
It's set by
So
yes.
bigger number, bigger field.
Yes. Yep.
Well, it's not. This is 1.6 is big.
No, that's 16. 1.8. I think is it 1.8 f4 f5.6 and f16.
Yeah, f 1.8 means that the lens is bigger, right? Like the hole is bigger.
Mm-hmm. Lets more light in,
That's more like it.
but your
Yeah.
depth of field is smaller.
Oh, okay, okay. No, don't talk to me. I'm like, I don't want to get confused. I'm like,
We're
I
le-
felt
we're
like I
learning.
understood it.
We're learning.
Let me see here. See, now I might get these pulled up and realize that these are all jank because, you know what, I'll shut you off here. No, shit, it's recording off and on.
Are we still recording?
I don't know.
The green light's on, so
Yeah. Upside down.
it didn't take your password.
Probably typed it in wrong.
Yep, I think we're still recording.